If today feels like too much, if you're tired and you're not even sure why, just pause. You don't have to keep pretending you're okay. Some days are heavy, and that's all right. So sit with me for a moment. Let's take a deep breath and gently remind ourselves. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to feel. You're not alone. If one day you feel too tired, just allow yourself to rest. Really rest. Not the kind of rest where your body is still but your mind keeps racing, but the kind of rest where you put the world on pause, even just for a moment. Turn off your phone. Close your eyes. Let the silence hold you. You don't have to earn rest. You don't need to prove anything today. Existing is already enough. Breathing is already enough. Remember, you are not a machine. You're a living soul, and even the sun sets to rise again. If one day you feel too tired, go outside. Let nature touch you, not to run away from your worries, but to remember there's still a world that moves slowly, gently, without demanding anything from you. Step out of the room that's filled with pressure. Breathe in the open air, even if it's cold, even if it's cloudy. Let the sky remind you that everything passes, even storms. Sit by a tree and don't say a word. Let the wind speak to you, not in language, but in rhythm. The rustling of the leaves, the dance of shadows on the ground, the distant song of a bird that doesn't know your name, but somehow still calms you. You don't need to solve your problems right now. You don't need to understand everything. Sometimes, you just need to feel the earth beneath your feet. And remember, you belong here just as you are. No expectations, no masks, just you and the quiet hug of the world. We often think healing requires action, but many times it only asks for stillness, presence, and a little bit of sun on your skin. So if your heart feels heavy today, go where things grow slowly. Touch a leaf. Watch the clouds. Let yourself feel small, not to shrink, but to be held by something larger than your thoughts. Let nature remind you, you're already enough, just by being. If one day you feel too tired, cry. If you need to, cry. Let the tears fall, not because you're weak, but because you've been strong for too long. You don't always have to hold it together. You don't have to smile just to make others comfortable. Your emotions are not a burden. They are your soul speaking, asking for release, not judgment. Find a quiet corner. Let the world fade away for a moment. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath shake. Let your chest rise and fall, heavy and raw. Tears are not a breakdown. They're a language, a release, a baptism for the weight you've been carrying alone. And when you're done, when your body feels empty and quiet, you'll notice something beautiful. The silence afterward doesn't hurt. It feels lighter, softer, like your heart finally got to speak. Crying doesn't mean you're falling apart. It means you're listening to yourself. And that is a kind of courage the world doesn't always recognize. So let yourself cry. And when the tears stop, hold yourself gently, like someone you truly care about, because you are. If one day you feel too tired, write it down. Not to make it pretty, not to make sense of everything, but simply to get it out of your chest, where it's been sitting, quietly hurting you. Write like no one will read it. Write as if the page can hold things you can't say out loud. The regret, the anger, the guilt, the fear, the truth. Let your words bleed. Let them tremble. Let them be messy, incomplete, or repetitive. There are no rules when your heart needs to speak. And when the ink slows down, when your hand stops shaking, Pause. Read it if you want to, or don't. Tear it up. Keep it. Burn it. Whatever feels right. But before you close that notebook, whisper one thing back to yourself. I forgive you. Because maybe you've been too hard on yourself lately. Maybe you've blamed yourself for things you couldn't control. Maybe you forgot that healing isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest. You are doing the best you can with the pieces you have and the heart that still keeps beating despite everything. So if today feels too heavy, write it down, let it out, and then forgive yourself for being human. If one day you feel too tired, talk to someone. Not just anyone, but someone who doesn't try to fix you, doesn't rush to give advice, doesn't change the subject, because your pain makes them uncomfortable. Talk to someone who holds space for your silence, someone who listens without waiting for their turn to speak, someone who says, I'm here, and truly means it. You don't have to say it all perfectly. You don't even have to make sense. Let the words stumble. Let the voice crack. Let the tears come or don't. What matters is that you no longer carry everything alone. We all need someone like that. Not a savior, just a presence, a steady hand, a safe place to fall apart. And if you don't have that person yet, be that person for yourself. Whisper kind things to your heart. Wrap your own arms around your chest. Call a helpline. Message a friend. Because your voice deserves to be heard. And your pain deserves to be met with gentleness, not silence. So if today feels like too much, please don't go through it alone. Let someone in. Let someone stay. You were never meant to carry the weight of it all by yourself. If one day you feel too tired, try this. Remember the small things that once made you smile. Not the grand victories, not the big life events, but the little sparks that lit up your ordinary days. Like the smell of your favorite coffee in the morning, the sound of rain tapping gently on your window, the way your pet looks at you like you're their entire world. That one song that makes you feel like you're floating. Remember how you laughed that day for no reason at all. How your mom called just to ask if you'd eaten. How a stranger smiled at you on a day you needed it most. How you once found peace just watching the sky turn from blue to gold. Life isn't always about the big, loud, shining moments. Most of the time, it's in the whispers, in tiny kindnesses, fleeting glances, and the warmth of things that ask nothing in return. So if your heart feels tired, don't search for miracles. Search for moments, the quiet ones, the familiar ones, the real ones, because no matter how dark things seem right now, there were days you smiled, and those days can come again. And maybe, just maybe, one small memory can become the first step back to hope. If one day you feel too tired, remind yourself of this simple truth. You are alive, not just surviving. Not just existing, but living. You may not feel it right now, because the world has been loud, and your heart has been quiet for too long. But somewhere deep inside, there's still a spark that hasn't gone out. You woke up today. You breathed in air that didn't ask you to be perfect. You made it through the hard days that once felt impossible. You are still here, and that matters more than you realize. So don't let your life become just a checklist. Don't reduce your days to deadlines, your worth to achievements, your joy to permission granted by others. Eat slowly, breathe deeply, feel sunlight on your skin. Say thank you even when life feels heavy. Start noticing again. The way trees sway without asking why. The way your chest rises and falls without effort. The way beauty still exists, even in the cracks. Living doesn't always look like fireworks or laughter. Sometimes it's just choosing to stay, choosing to feel, choosing to believe that maybe tomorrow might surprise you. So if you're tired, don't give up. Rest, reflect, reconnect. But please, remember to live. And if you're still here, thank you. Thank you for giving yourself this moment, for breathing through the heaviness, for choosing softness when the world taught you to be hard. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to be strong every single day. You just need to keep showing up as you are, not as who you think you're supposed to be. So tonight, or whenever you're watching this, close your eyes, take one more deep breath, and remember, you are loved, you matter, and you're never, ever alone. We'll meet again whenever your heart needs it.